The thing is I don't have democracy as well. They're going with a lawyer. Behind my back, this criminal enterprise has gone with lawyers to absolutely all of my workplaces after doing a massive defamation. I'm full of ego. Now, I'm not an egotistical person, so I never have a right to clean up the damage and the indoctrination of the snake lies about my identity, but there's a million people saying I'm a snake, which means I'm being human trafficked because I don't have rights. Everybody's got a right to say who I am, and I've got absolutely none. They're silencing me. They're using legal lawyers to go around to all of my workplaces in Australia, and they've damaged my reputation to my mother, saying I steal at all these aged care places in Australia, and I didn't even get to stand up for myself. They just kicked me out of the country and deported me. And I'm asking, this is corruption. It's not fair that they are criminally allowed to keep investigating me and following me place to place when I'm innocent. I'm just a woman that had a disfigured face from gang violence and maybe some police abuse, and I tried to find out what was happening, and in that time I've had to survive the unthinkable, and I didn't want to. Like, I lived a really, really soft-hearted life, and I looked young and innocent, and I loved pets. I loved, you know what I used to do in the weekend is go down to Unitech, and there was a little farm of these baby goats, and I was in love with these goats, and so was my puppy. And I'd go and sit there, and they had a lot of intelligence, and they were communicating to me in a way, like, they weren't saying, hi, how are you? But they were just kind of like coming up and nudging at the like gate, like, come and see us, like, type thing. And then if you'd walk around to another thing, they'd get really excited. And it was really cute. Like, that's why I really like visiting them. And they were so tiny that I think that's why they're a bit cute, because when they're big, they've got those really kind of evil, weird kind of eyes that creep me out, and have those really, really big tongues that they like to kind of like, I've seen quite a few of them slip out their tongue to the side, and it's creepy. So this is the thing that burdened me with law, legal terms, the government, and it's like, why are they putting me under all this debt? Who sold me into debt servitude? For one, that's illegal. Two, I've never been stealing at my work. Like, I was kind of messed up in Australia. Like, I'd had my face disfigured. I'd say hi to the girls, but I never really felt happy. Like, I wasn't open enough, because I just felt like I was just still processing what had happened to me. I felt resentful about what had happened to me and the situation I was in, and I didn't want to be cleaning. I didn't do anything wrong to the woman. I just would say hi, and I just was not really engaging with them because of my own problems. And they just went around telling everyone I was arrogant, and I was really innocent about that. And they've managed to make themselves really rich and famous, and I'm not allowed to move forward in my life again. And this is the thing, this is what they're doing to me, abusing me with legal guys and politicians. And at this stage, when I've read about it, when it comes to genocide, the politician leaders are the ones that are accountable for genocide. So it's happened in Australia and this country. It's happened in New Zealand and Australia. And I also got kicked out of Sweden. And what I saw in Sweden was there was all this vandalism by the train, and like these wolves that were like basically calling me a slut and very ugly, and I'm jealous of these three women, the police women. And they were running a bus that I had a low IQ when I'm not stupid at all. I'm not precious. Yeah, basically that movie's about a fat girl that's really, really thick and gets AIDS from her dad. So if you saw the man that was having sex with me, could you please come forward, because that could help me get some sort of justice, because I wouldn't have gotten AIDS. My time's short, which means they got me in a death sentence, and I'm trying to get overseas to die anyway, but I'm kind of sad because I'm really angry at America. I'm really angry at America and Indonesia, China, because they've taken away my right to work. And this happened for a very long time all over this country. Japan was, they've stolen my life of work. Like, I actually built a massive group of places that I was doing work in this country. In Auckland, I had all these clientels, and they've stolen them to make it her business. And then they've stolen my business in Australia. They've stolen my nannying business. And it's just not on. And it's like, I'm always paying, and now I've got a lifelong disease, and now I'm on a lifelong clock, which isn't fair. It's not even a democracy, because I didn't even get social services, which means I'm actually being treated like I'm undeserving of life. And I want to know why. Being ugly isn't a crime. Being ugly shouldn't mean that I have to keep paying for Kiki to being a bitch. Like, she shouldn't have to keep taking off me. Like, she's already got millions. Why did she take away my business in Australia and get on that boat and put me to death in the toilet? I think they need to pay me double for that kind of move, because they already had taken enough of me. They've taken a lot of me, and now Poppy has done the unthinkable with the scary vagina. I want somebody to come forward with it. Instead of obeying your country, why don't you ring up overseas and say, your organization of worldwide oppression and putting a lid on the world domination is not fair, because this woman's never had democracy for 7 years and she's in an exile, and this woman's just ruined her life. She wouldn't let her just go to Sweden. It's like they're ruining me having a life, and that's just injustice. It's like, I just started my life and I was happy and I healed my own bloodline, and this woman just ruined my face and took all my friends off me, took my social status off me, ruined me sexually, and then put me in the bin. And then I had to stand up again and fight. And I was such a sensitive woman about spirituality, and they're making me fight these fucking warrior women. These massive tank women that are warrior women that are gangsters and stuff like that. And it's I've had enough. They're walking around in my honour right now, and they've also done all this sexual slavery, apartheid. I don't get rights. I just want you to know, like, this could happen to your kids. They could just go to school and somebody could hate them that had a dad that's in politics, or had somebody that was in a music industry, or had, like, somebody that was like a gangster. Whoop, you're dead. Because that girl's like, her face is too beautiful. Oh, fuck that. I'm going to be the most beautiful girl in the world at all costs. Oh my God, she's got that guy likes her ass and her body shape. Fuck that, I'm going to get her disemboweled and make sure she's never beautiful ever again. Can you not see that this is a case of jealousy? And I've just had enough. I think there's an element of patriotism in this as well, because of the genital mutilation. But to actually, I think there's something seriously wrong with these people, because you do not have a sense of depth and emotional insight. If you have been watching somebody for this long, like me, she's investigating everything about me like I'm a criminal, and my life journey was about coming back home to my body and looking after myself and having self-care and being a healer and looking after children, and I can't. I've got no honour left. She's taken the gold of my character, but there's still remnants in my folders about being a really good character. I put a lot of time into being someone of integrity, and I'm not saying I didn't have naughty moments and I wasn't being silly sometimes, but most of the time around work or people that were professional, I changed my conduct. Like, it's not multiple personality, it's knowing how to talk to in different situations, I think. But if you want to call it that, that's fine. I don't really think it's that. I just think it's knowing different etiquette for different situations. But at the end of the day, I've got too many chiefs in this situation. There's some big women with big balls and a big load of money that just seem to not want me to get on with my life. And it's like, it was never a competition to me. It was about me getting back on my feet. But for them, they wanted to hold all the friends. They want to hold all the money. They want to hold my dream. It's all about them. They want to hold my business. They've ruined my chance to have children at all. And I had a forced abortion, I think. And they've also sterilized me. They've also ruined my anus. They've ruined my health with lots of STDs, and I want to know why. The government is allowed to lab test off somebody so beautiful and into ruins. And it's just going on and on and on and on. So it just shows that this person's probably having a massive masturbation and then goes sits at church like, hallelujah, hallelujah, Jesus, like, and he's spreading STDs and giving AIDS and all sorts of gross stuff. So did you see this black man do this, this father? Treat me like I'm precious and rape me and give me this problem. Because this black family, I'm carrying their curses and it's not mine to carry. I had my own family and I overcame that generational problem, and now I've got to live with the diseases of her family, and I want my right to die because I'm not going to live my life in dishonor. You know, I want to work and things like this, and it's like not fair because I never got to succeed because of really, really horrible people that were in power and really, really horrible ex-boyfriends that didn't want me to succeed. It was my only chance in Australia, and they came and ruined everything for me. 3 men, and I think James and Reuben and Kiki ruined it for me, and John. So I'm just doing my business. I don't deserve that. And apparently there's international trafficking problems because of Trump, and he's destroyed my right in Sweden. So I've had injustice after injustice after injustice, and I have to talk up for myself, well, I'm ugly. And I have to be completely ruined because of her gangster fathers that are Japanese that are like, you don't fucking deserve anything. And then the black people too, you don't deserve anything. We hate you. You don't deserve God's favour. You don't deserve to sit in honour. You don't deserve to sit and talk about love. You don't deserve the artwork that you produce. Our black family deserves it. Our black family deserves to be the ones standing as famous people in society. It was mine. It's what I deserved. And they've killed me. They've actually physically grievous bodily harmed me. And I didn't deserve it. So remember my name. And I want my right to die, and I want some people to come forward with historical abuse, because at this stage, you are really still denying my right to exist, and you're keeping me in these members where I'm outcast, but I should have a right to talk to somebody. It's not fair what you're doing to me. This is 7 years of torturing me, following me around, harassing me, hounding me, denying me my own rights, my own friends that I make. You invade my friendships.